Welcome to the 2024 Spring Split of the LCS Challengers League. This spring will feature 10 teams competing in a single round-robin best-of-3 format, and for the first time ever, we'll be implementing Fearless Drafts. If you're not familiar, Fearless Draft adds a new twist to pick and ban. Once a champion is picked by a team in the series, it cannot be picked by them again. So if Team A drafts Teemo in Game 1, they cannot play Teemo for the rest of the series. Team B could pick Teemo in Game 2, but then wouldn't be able to play him in Game 3. And like LCS, all games will be played on the live patch, so you can take what you see from the games and try them out on your own. The top 8 teams from our regular season advance to the NACL playoffs, which will feature a double elimination bracket with a mix of best-of-3 and best-of-5 matches. Alongside the NACL are 2 qualifier tournaments, which will also feature Fearless Drafts on the live patch. The bottom 2 teams from the NACL regular season will compete against the top 4 teams from the qualifiers in a promotion tournament, battling in a double elimination bracket to qualify into the NACL in summer 2024. All LCS Challengers League games and coverage will be available on twitch.tv/LCS_Challengers, with matches starting right after the LCS. And as a reminder, with team revenue shares, every sub in Twitch Prime directly supports the teams and players. Another split of Challengers League begins right now, and we can't wait to see you there.
Introducing the new footlong sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious footlong cookie, footlong pretzel, or footlong churro. Welcome back, everyone, to LCS Challengers. We just finished game number 1 of Supernova versus LiT Esports. Supernova able to get a pretty convincing win. Now beat down, moving into game 2, which means we have to pull up our Subway best-of-3 sidekick. What champion you think is going to come through the draft right now and give me something spicy?
You know what? I told you what I was going to pick before we went live.
Got something
but
better?
Eric, I lied to you.
Oh.
No, that's the thing. I misled you. You thought I was going to say a Akali because I'm a one-trick.
I thought.
But you thought.
But
it's actually Vayne for Rock Boom.
Ooh.
If you know, you know.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. That champ sucks. But in the right situation... Just wrap it up. Rock Boom will carry the game.
Yeah, just don't end up in like the Poppy situation once again, right?
Look, just don't first pick it. That's all I'm asking.
Okay. I got mine, and I told you what it was going to be. And beat, I misled you.
You did not lie to me.
No, I didn't.
Oh, shut the
I
hell
misled
up.
you by trying to mislead you. I would like to see Tristana on Shochi once again. And for those of you who know, Shochi is a damn good Tristana. You know, back in the Taco Gaming days, that's when I started to see his Tristana pop out a little bit more, then got brought up to Fear. Had so many different unique champions. I think it was like 19 unique champions on the season. Something ridiculous like that.
Eric, it was 25.
25 unique champions. And
To
the
be
only
fair-
one I want to see out of all of that is Tristana. What is it?
To be fair, one of them was the accidental Katarina. You know, do with that information what you will.
Yeah, I remember I made a little graphic where it had all the champions behind, and the Katarina was the only one that was grayed out. But hey, if it was going to be anyone, it might as well be Shochi, right?
True. And, you know, I actually don't remember the context, so I couldn't even tell you, like, if it would have worked. But generally, you know, comps are meta with CC, so that champ sucks, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm going to give one more. And this one is still predictable. Dragoon Darius.
I mean, they're just going to ban it every game, so good luck with that.
I can hope, right? I can hope. Fearless.
You can hope.
Fearless changes things up. You know, sometimes we saw earlier where you need to leave some bans up because you can't pick those specific champions. So maybe, just maybe I can get my Darius or the Tristana. I'll take either.
Probably in a Game 5 scenario. I actually think, because remember, we play live patch just like LCS. Not only was Darius already pretty good in this current meta, he got buffed. So, if Dragoon's on your screen, or Quacker, if I'm a coach, I'm like, dude, never let him play it. I don't care. That's how these things work. Like, you gotta drop ego and ban the pocket picks.
Can we get one more beat? I want to give you Faisal though, not Olaf.
Ooh.
What you got?
I mean, make it hard, I guess. Okay, fine, whatever. It's a good top lane champ. I've never seen him play Darius, but I wish he would also play Darius.
So just 2 Darius picks. We're coming out right now.
Yes. I like this champ. If someone blinds Udyr, like, it's not funny, man. Like this champ destroys him.
This is one of the moments where I wish we were like in old LCK. I think it was still OGN back then. It might have still been LCK, but the old rule was if you got to the final game, you did blind pick. And that's how we ended up with the
Wait,
Faker.
that's fire.
That's how we ended up with the Faker Zed clip.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
That would be nice, but we're still fearless here. And speaking of fearless draft, let's pull up the champions that will be banned in this upcoming draft, which you don't really got to guess it. It was the champions that you saw last game right there. So sadly for us, that means no more Garen. Happily for LiT, that means no more Kalista. I'm tired of seeing that champion. No more early picks on that.
I mean, technically SN could do it, but I'm with you on that. And again, just to be clear, if you're a little newer to our league, to Fearless, whatever. We're not doing full Fearless. Basically, if your team picks the champion, only that team can no longer pick it for the rest of the series. So, LiT for the rest of the series, and play Kalista. Am I sad? No. Are you sad, Eric?
I'm not.
Good.
You know what would be a better strategy is to bait out the Poppy, and then you play Kalista the next game where they can't actually play the Poppy anymore,
Dude, we're getting into some like crazy levels of like 4D chess that I'm not ready for. But if they do play it, because not only is Poppy gone, Poppy and the Talia are gone, because that would be crazy.
All right, so draft is ready. Let's see if any of this forbidden tech actually makes it through onto the draft.
Are you the GOAT? That's the question. Because if they first pick it, like, we got to switch roles, bro. You have to be the color caster. I don't make the rules.
All right, well, some picks are not going to see the light of day. Some of the ones we were getting hyped about, Darius on either top laner, not going to happen. Neither is the Olaf for Faisal. Or the Blitzcrank, which has been another pick that's been popping up in priority more and more. A lot of fun to see, especially in response to Melio. Just grab Melio and you're having a good time.
I wonder if... Nope, never mind. I have my teams mixed up. Never mind. It does make me think, when you see a Blitzcrank ban that early, that they are probably going to play maybe like a double marksman, bot lane, double range, something along those lines. Because I'm sure Diamond is very comfortable just slamming it as early as possible once he knows.
Definitely would be happy to have that lock in. One more ban to come out from Supernova before we start to see what this first pick is. I am seeing that Karma has made it through. She's still available if LiT want to go for that B1.
Right, and it's pretty easy sell.
Yep.
Camp is broken. At this point, it can be flexed, but we're likely going to see mostly Ezreal Karma go through, and I don't think Array is going to take that just to deny the pairing, because it is the combo that is S tier at the moment. So at this point, yeah, Ashe is probably something you can go for here. Maybe we see Ashe Varus from the side of Supernova. They do have a couple of options about how they want to play this out. Try and match poke, maybe go for something like a Nautilus, so that they can just lock people down and blow them up that way.
Yeah, just grab the Karma and beat her up as a 5-stack. That's the way this is going to go out, right? If you had the Nautilus, that is. But still going to be the Ashe, which there is the potential for flex, but most likely into that support role. Next pick to come out from Supernova is going to be that Varus you were mentioning, B.
Yeah, you have a lot of damage, you have a lot of poke, so in those early levels you should be able to get that that lane push and win out these health trades, but also, we saw in the earlier series with Chime on the Ashe, those long-range engages are so incredibly powerful, and it's basically why we can't get rid of this champion from the meta. He's just always going to be there.
You can see that priority into the bottom lane. Got two powerful combos coming up. LiT are going to complete theirs with the Ezreal locked in, so Rock Boom and Plux will have that combo in the bottom lane. You're going to have a lot of safety. Again, those second rotation on shields can mean so much, as well as some good push coming in. One more pick to come in, and we're going to start to see what those solo lanes and jungle picks are going to be.
Yeah, I imagine jungle is what we're looking to grab here early on. A lot of premieres. Okay, never mind, I lied to you. I'm sorry, Eric.
How dare you?
Vi, Xin Zhao are up and available. Of course, LiT can't pick Vi anymore, but there's still a lot of strong junglers available, and I want to see if, at this point, will they go that route for the side of Supernova, or are they going to try and match top lane? Because you already know you're playing into the Udyr, so like, what are you really concerned about?
And they go straight for that as the Rumble gets hovered. Faisal's going to be locking that one in. Would put a pretty interesting matchup, the Udyr versus the Rumble. Of course, Dragoon definitely wants to make more of a name for himself Never really talked too much about it, but one of the things he was saying was he wants to be in the top conversation when it comes to top laners, in that top 3 pool. Personally, for you, I want to ask, who are some of the names that are in that top pool? For me, Tenacity and Surdy are a must. I would argue Faisal is one of those who you can argue to be somewhere in there as well.
I mean, if you're going to put me on the spot, yeah, it's literally going to be the 3 that you mentioned. I think Dragoon is quite good and had a good year last year, but I'm going to need to see more before I consider him in that top 3. Now, going back to the draft, I mean, some of the junglers that I highlighted out of the picture, I'm really curious what Supernova is going to go with, because I think right now they're lacking health bars, for lack of a better word. They need something a little beefy there in the jungle, and I'm trying to think of what is left and available. Maokai. I think LiT needs to ban that, because otherwise that would be really great.
Yeah,
pairing up with the Rumble and things like that.
Yeah, get Kenvi on something tanky. Maokai is
Jarvan's good too.
Definitely one of the prominent ones. Jarvan, Sejuani is another tanky jungler that does come to mind. You definitely need some beef for this. You can also take...
Maokai.
It's got to be Maokai. As, the hover goes away, and there it is. The tree gets locked in.
I mean, it's just too good, man. You're in a tough spot as LiT. I think Jarvan is a good ban, because that Jarvan Rumble combo is insane. But now you have this long-range engage from the 2 spots with the Ash Arrow and the Nature's Grasp. So I already can see in this mid to late game how strong Supernova's comp is going to be. And I think with the Azir out of the picture for messages, what's he going to be looking for there? Viego is interesting. Are we going to see a Nico then? It's focused more on burst damage to try and get you that first kill.
Well, that could be a way to go for... want to grab that, but hovering over towards the Alistair, definitely not going to be the lock-in they're going for. Still going around. Messages does have quite the pool he can really dip into. I wouldn't expect a Yone, because that would make this very, very AD heavy. Corki still has an AD profile, but does do a lot of magic damage on the back end of that, a lot of mixed damage, so that's going to be the final lock-in.
Yeah, so that one's going to be interesting. I mean, he scales well. He has a lot of poke, so it's a way for you to kind of match that range that you already have and that Supernova have. But this comp is kind of squishy. Yes, Udyr is very tanky, but the way things have been going this season, top lane is very isolated for a lot of the game. So if we talk about the 4v4, Eric, there isn't a lot of health bars to speak of. You don't have a lot of disengage. So I think early on, LiT are going to struggle, but if they can come out of that early mid game, even a little down, minimizing those losses, that's where their best chance is going to come from.
And we're getting a Shochi special again, as Akshan gets locked in the mid lane.
He hovered the Zed. That's mean, bro. I wanted to see that. I mean, it sucks here, but like...
I was expecting some sort of AD mid when you do have the Rumble over in the top lane. Akshan's a good response to the Corki, so we'll have that there. And this does put, like, triple marksman. Technically, one of them doesn't really exist with Ashe. He's just there to throw the arrow right out. But it is going to be a lot of damage that has been drafted from both sides once they get to team fighting.
Yeah, so it is interesting. Kenby is really the sole tank on this team. A lot of taking space, frontlining is going to fall to him. So it's definitely not going to be a walk in the park for him, but I still like what we're seeing just because of the fact that you have Shochi, who's going to be able to move around the map with that Akshan W going rogue, and the fact that you have the Ash Arrow and the Nature's Grasp coming from far. So I think early on, Supernova, they're looking pretty solid, and they have plenty of scaling tools as well. I think this is another draft where they come out ahead of LiT, and LiT have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, I actually really like Supernova's draft coming into this game. I mean, for LiT, if you start to fall behind and you get to the mid game, things are going to be very, very down bad, man. For Supernova,
True.
I mean, dude, one of my most hated champions as of lately has been Rumble, because sometimes you could just dumpster on this champ and he drops an equalizer and still just wins the team fight for your squad. So Faisal being on that, he's a very, very capable player. So this Rumble, I feel like is going to be a menace. Rumble's my nightmares now. Rumble's my new Yumi.
Are you?
Yeah, I said it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't agree with that, but whatever you feel, man, like, that's crazy. Again, pressure's on. We'll be in game any second now. Pressure's on there for LiT. You have some early game tools with this Ezreal Karma, with this Viego, and it's really going to be that pressure onto Kisno. to see what he's going to be able to get done in the early game. Because Chochi is going to be able to roam pretty early on. I mean, you're playing Corki, right? So Messages isn't going to be able to do very much in those early minutes of the game. And as long as LiT minimize what they lose in the first 10-15 minutes, they will have a chance. It's a question of if.
And the ease of execution is another thing I want to point out. Supernova, it's pretty simple for them. Press R, jump into fight, and things are looking good. For LiT, it is going to be a little bit more skirmishy. They don't really have like that dedicated front line.
No, I think they do. But again, the most important thing for me is the fact that top lane is super isolated those first 15-20 minutes of the game. You don't really see top laners interact. So I'm looking at the 4v4. You have no tanks on LiT until later on.
All right. A little bit of technical issues coming in. We're going to get those, get all that sorted so we can get to the rift. So we're going to throw it a short break. When we return, we'll start up our match number 2, LiT versus Supernova.
I think TLC will win. We'll have no issues at all.
Probably FlyQuest. I hold a lot of respect for like a lot of their players, so probably the favorite to win.
Can I say myself? Yeah, I think FlyQuest is the favorite to win the split.
Area of Effect Gaming. I think they're individually just so cracked that it doesn't matter who they're up against.
Well, that will be my team, because it's my team. I mean, who roots against themselves, you know? Us or FlyQuest, because I think we're the best 2 teams.
I'd say it's probably FlyQuest, I mean, or ourselves. I mean, I can't ever count myself out.
Yumi?
Yumi?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'll just say Yumi.
That champ just like is useless, and then whenever the champ is useful, like the game kind of sucks, you know?
The community will have my back on that one. So yeah, just Yumi.
Well, this is embarrassing.
I think it's Zoe. She's just the mid lane champ that wins jungle matchups. And I also don't even really want it on my team. So I just say Zoe.
Zed. I hate Zed. They just farm with Q from far and then they think they're good when they press R. I think like if you're a Zed OTP and you can play Zed and you like have like the basic combos down, it shoots you up like a whole tier at least.
I think I'll choose Zeri. Kind of like the peak of Zeri Yumi meta, and like Zeri Lulu meta was kind of the bane of every top laner.
I want to dunk on Shochi. Yes. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a good laner, and I want to dunk on him.
All of them. All of them, but in particular, every support player that exists, hands down. Just pick one.
Quad. So badly. So badly, actually. This guy has 87 LCK games. He just dropped 2 nukes in his most recent game. So if I can drop a nuke on that guy, then it's going to look good for me.
Messages on LiT. Give him a little reality check.
I'll just choose Dragoon. I mean, we're the 2 like Darius players and ACL, and there's only space for one, I guess. I'll just say that.
I just want to be AoE because I think I'm friends with a lot of them. And it would just feel good, yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Oh, I just love content pieces like that where we get to see our players and some of the trash talk that they do, which, by the way, I did talk with Dragoon, and I asked him, I was like, hey, Quacker said he wants to dunk on you since you're the 2 Darius players. He's like, history will show what that means. He doesn't even need a trash talk. He just shows the match history, man.
All right, fair enough. I mean, respect. But I can't wait to see that matchup and find out who dunks who. Because you know what, in League of Legends, we're all about recency bias. I don't care who wins historically. Who's won lately?
All we need, man.
30 seconds
Yeah.
All we need. Nothing else. Wildcard is the best team in the league right now.
True.
Because they have one. Very, very
They
late. That was a good win against TL, but hold up.
Wait,
Look at this.
very, very lately. Then aren't FlyQuest the best team? Because they won like an hour ago.
You're right. I can't argue against that. And if Supernova take this right now, that means they're the best team, right?
Oh my god, you're so right. Like, those are the rules. I don't make them.
I just noticed the Phoenix versus the Flamethrower is very interesting. If we were to look at it in more of a lore aspect, I guess.
That's good. I thought you were going to say poetic, and I was just going to have to categorically disagree with you. So I'm really proud of you
Well,
for avoiding the blunder.
If we want to do something a little bit more poetic, what about Dragoon? We talked about what Shochi would be if he was an anime. What's Dragoon's anime, man?
We'll get back to that in a couple minutes. I actually really need to think about it. What's Dragoon's anime? Damn it. That's hard.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough one right there. I mean, he's had a pretty like tumultuous career. The dude had okay. If we're talking about poetic,
okay, hold on. I got it. I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
Rise of the Shield Hero. You don't watch anime, so you don't get it. But this is the best I got from what I have seen. I've only seen 2 seasons, mind you. But I think it fits his career. There you go. You're welcome.
I wouldn't say he's that far from Ash Ketchum, dude. It's just like the dude had to win tier 2 twice, the promotion tournament twice just to promote. Like
I thought you were gonna say like wild, I thought you were gonna say in like 20 years he'll win Worlds.
If we still have the Worlds, you know, he'll be coaching a squad.
True. Okay, fair enough. Respect.
All right. Let's get into the game and see some of this early pathing that's coming out. Kizno has opted to start at his red buff, pathing upwards, where you have some priority coming out from Dragoon. However, it's Kenvi going downwards, where you see this pressure from both Diamond and Array. It's pushing into this tier 1 tower. Kenvi still going over towards that pathing. We'll take it into the river.
And it's been tough. I mean, this Varus Karma is a lane that so much ban priority has gone its way this year thus far, and it's just the lane that has very few answers at the moment, and Rockboom and Flux are feeling that. At the moment, they're also going to feel the wrath of Kenvi, who is here. Kizno's nowhere to be found.
He's going to be going after Plux. Ooh, able to get the smash in, but still Plux will fall. That's first blood. Found a great juggling of turret aggro. Now Rockboom, the next one in the crosshairs. Ooh, perfect use. Almost gets away, but the auto from Rockboom will return one back. Still, the bot lane of LiT does fall.
I mean, Rockboom gets one, which is nice, but still, yeah, very well executed overall. Just the patience, the juggling of aggro, as you said. And now, even though Rockboom got a kill, all it really does is ease the sting of that wave he ends up dropping. And here, again, really nice from Kenvi. You see him stand there, wait a moment, give them a second to walk next to him so he can get that double Bramble smash. And it really just comes down to Kenvi not flashing sooner at this point.
I do respect how patient he was with the Twisted Advance. Didn't use it right away. You can tell he was trying to bait out the flashes, but a little bit unfortunate that Rockboom was able to get that final auto in. Still gives LiT a little bit of a fighting chance down there.
Yeah, I mean, 1,000 gold at 4 minutes, that's pretty awesome. So I think Supernova are doing just fine, especially against the comp and LiT that you were saying. You don't want to fall too far behind early. You need to slow down the pace of this early game, and it's looking like they can't do that right now.
NB says, thanks for the detour. Using the Twisted Advance now. Shochi is the one caught out. Ooh, takes a bad angle, and unfortunately, he's going to get chunked out for it.
I'm not really sure what happened there. It must have been his E.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been. But that gives the opportunity for Kizno to try and go for this.
It's very risky right now for Shochi. Ooh,
oh, wait!
Tries to go in with a swing once more, but will fall in the process. A 1-for-1 trade jungler for mid.
Wow, I gotta say, Supernova are fighting tooth and nail for every inch here, and they're making LiT earn it. And ultimately, it doesn't look like Kizno was able to actually get the camp. Kenvi walked away with it in the end. And the only real downside is that Shochi doesn't have teleport, so dying in a situation like that, and you can see the mid wave, he ends up dropping a decent bit of gold and XP.
Yeah, a few missteps coming out from the use of the E as well from Shochi.
That was awkward, yeah.
The awkward situation. Kizno now looking to focus onto this bottom lane. Flash can be burnt out from Array. Kizno's presence is felt as he walks back around the brush. Presence applied by Kenvi, but nothing going to go down.
Yeah, it's really... that brief presence is all there is to it, because even though Shochi did die, he came back with a couple long swords. The bot lane still has prio, so it's going to be an easy Drake #1. And because Kizno showed up bot to try and see what he could get, it's going to be harder for him to actually move top and claim those grubs. Right now, we could see Kenvi recall and head topside to also contend that. We even see the pings coming through right now for that very thing.
The ping's going over towards that top side. It's still a lot of prio coming out from the side of Dragoon while Faisal tries to hold the wave. Wants to freeze it just right in front of his tower. Give Dragoon a little bit of a harder time here, but pings are coming out from the jungle of Supernova as they start pathing towards this top end where the grubs are.
Yeah, right. And it's actually, if you see Kizno, after clearing his bot side, hovers again just to see if there's an opportunity before eventually recalling going topside. All that time wasted does mean that the Grubs, it should be snagged by Supernova. Even though you see Dragoon checking on the minimap, I don't know if he can really do anything.
Well, he might try and just scrap it out with Faisal. That's the most he can do in this situation. Lovato straight through. Kenvy's still on this side of the map. He will be able to start up his Void Grubs, and you can see that completely mirrored from where Kizno is, so not going to have much contention as he takes these.
Oh my god. Kizno's really trying to find something on this bot side. Isn't actually able to do it, so he resets his red buff. In the end, it's just going to be Grubs for free. And Kenvy, honestly, he pings for an invade. He actually might be able to make it happen.
Look at this top side. Overheated means that those autos do that bonus magic damage. Dragoon's feeling it. Dragoon wants to bring some damage of his own. The flash away from Faisal. He's able to survive, but Kenvy has
Hey,
arrived.
Kenvy, hold on.
Able to flash in. This is a rough dive to go for. It is an Udyr, man, and unfortunately Kenvy burns his flash for nothing.
I mean, those are the rules. It's like a flow chart. Can you kill, is Udyr low health? Yes. Can you actually kill him? No. Probably not. Because he always has that turtle stance, man. It's tough. I think Faisal maybe getting too aggressive before Kenvy can actually get there is what makes that difference. And it's Kizno now going for a little bit of vertical jungling here, actually. Just going to invade and take Kenvy's bot side instead of actually moving up top side to see if he can just alleviate some of this pressure from the bot lane. And it is an option for him. He shouldn't be falling too far behind. In fact, he is a little ahead. So that does mean he was able to get something for it. But you're kind of hoping for a little more at this point.
You can take a look at the gold right now. Kizno still trying to match up with where Kenvy is. Kenvy, a lot of that has come from his presence on the map rather than the farms, rather than the camps farmed. He's been very active, already grabbed the Void Grubs as we'd mentioned earlier, and with the Dragon spawning in the next 2 minutes, that could be the next focus as LiT Esports try and push in the bot wave.
Right now, Rock Boom and Flux, they do need to be careful. They are pushed up. Kizno is in the area, but Shochi's also looking for the roam. He has currently gone rogue, but luckily is spotted out by a pink ward. Now you're starting to see this Ezreal Karma start to come online a little bit. You know, feels much better as the Ezreal once you get the Sheen in your inventory, and they're starting to have a decent time trading. But Kenvy, he is level 6. He has that ult, and there's the arrow.
Ooh, it lands flush, but it's a trap, and Kizno is able to lay prey onto Array. That is 1 kill going back over to LiT, as finally, so many times visiting the spot lane, Kizno is able to get a kill.
Yeah, but Shochi's here. He has a good amount of damage in his own right.
And Kizno's not in the right spot to be. Not choosing to go over towards that brush. Kizno's just waiting out the cooldowns and waiting out his timing. Could get it onto Shochi right now. Hops right onto him. The collapse onto Shochi is too much for Supernova to handle. Going for more is going to be Kizno as he swings over to Diamond. Just a little bit of a parting gift as a couple of bullets in the back, and LiT have taken a lead.
And that's a pretty big deal here, being able to close that gap in gold, especially because even though they didn't get the first Drake, now what we were talking about with Poppy early on, the package, he has it, but Supernova, they're not done.
He should have left a little bit earlier. Rock Boom will be able to flash out, but Flux and Kizno are not in a good spot. Diamond starts to get a little bit low. Mystic Shot lands. The minions could finish him. Ooh, no. Instead, the aggro is going to go back to Array.
Wow, that was a tough one. And I mean, just as I said it, the opportunity ends up going away. I think Rock Boom wanted just a little more gold so he could get that Essence Reaver, but it ends up costing him his flash and pretty much whatever pressure he earned bot side. And we're going to see it again. An Enchanted Crystal Arrow, that totally hit. Don't worry, guys, it's fine. And Kizno, like you said, it ended up being the trap that paid off so very well.
After so many times attempting down here in the bottom lane, able to get something going into the way of LiT Esports. But that wasn't the end of the fight right there. It was another trap that got laid, and now we're seeing a fight over in the Dragon. Shochi goes forward, messages running a bit low. Another hook coming out from Shochi, but doesn't get close enough as the flash will save messages.
That's brutal, because messages just before we went into the replay, he used the package. It didn't end up, because Rock Boom overstayed and ended up dying, there was no longer an option to use that to go for this Drake. So at the end of the day, what was almost looking good for LiT has completely fallen apart at this point. You're going to see some poke from Rock Boom. Maybe Kizno goes for this, but ultimately, this should go to Supernova.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of poke. It's way too risky for Kizno to go for it.
Yeah.
Supernova, they secure Dragon number 2. And, you know, good effort coming out from Rock Boom and Plux so far. It feels like this is a match where they're trying to establish themselves against some of the veterans we've had in the Tier 2 space. We talked about it earlier. Array has been in Tier 2 for a while now. Also was a sub for Golden Guardians. Same thing with Diamond and Dignitas. So Rock Boom, Plux, if you guys want to show up, this is the bot lane to do it on.
Yeah, it would be a pretty big deal. These are definitely storied players in this scene, and kind of why, even though I still think Super Team is, a little weird way to put it, I understand what Shochi is going for when he talks about... Yeah, whatever, man. I understand what Shochi is talking about when he talks about this roster. Very skilled and experienced players across the board here, and I guess there was no fight.
No fight. Just eyes in the top lane as the Chain of Corruption goes out. Not to find much else. Kenvi, however, has his eyes set into the mid lane. There is no package, no flash. So this means that he's going to be caught out underneath the tower. Here comes Kenvi, and one more pop coming out from Shochi gets the kill.
Oof. Well, consider these losses not minimized there. Supernova have gotten their lead back. They're going to collect another neutral objective, being those second spawn, of the Void Grub's top side.
6 of them total.
And everything is just going their way. And LiT Esports, this game is so hard if they're playing it from behind. And that is the exact position they're in.
Oh, Dragoon's low. Walks down. Faisal's over there. So is Kizno. Kizno wants to deny at least 2 of these grubs, so not all of them going over to Kenvi. Kizno will get there in time. And finally, something going back to LiT, but it really is not much. This consolation
It's like a
prize.
tiny bit of something, which is literally nothing. Yeah, yeah, LiT are still in the hole, Eric. I'm sorry to say. At this point, it's just going to come down to what they can do once they reach those item spikes. I mean, Essence Reaver is pretty good. You're waiting for that Miramana, though, for Rock Boom, and you want that second item for messages as well. I'm guessing he might be going the Trinity Force build or something like that. Once you get there, package in hand, maybe you got a dragon fight in your favor, but we're a while away before those items come through, so it might end up being a fight at the soul.
I want to keep in mind that there are some leads coming off on Shochi and Diamond that have given them bounties, so if LiT can at least focus down onto some of these members, they do have ways in. 1.7k is not that deep in the hole, but we're still pretty in it given the composition that's been drafted. If the players are going to come out, I want to see them sometime soon, especially around the package. Not just used in the mid lane, used in something like a dragon fight.
Well, there's still going to be the package or messages if you can actually make use of it this time around. And it's just going to be about... I'm actually curious.
Numerous times that Dragoon's been getting in the face of Faisal. And we did say, hey, Faisal might be in contention for a third. Dragoon wants to take him out and take his spot, forces the flash out of Faisal.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at what Dragoon is building. Like, look at his inventory. He's got the Haunting Guys coming through here, which, I mean, you usually see Udyrs go for something tanky, but it looks like he's going for either that Leandre's or the Riftmaker. Either way, that Phoenix stance is going to be doing a lot of damage in these fights.
So Udyr starting to come online. Now a charge coming out from LiT. They're focusing onto this mid lane turret. They won't be able to grab it, though. Instead, it's Shochi who gets a turret over in the bot lane. Arrow goes out. Diamond unable to land it.
This time. Even with haste being a lot of haste being removed from the game, Ash, that cooldown is still pretty crazy. It's already a quarter of the way done. And like I said, this third Drake fight isn't going to be happening for LiT. Look at the vision on this bottom side of the map. The bot tier 1 is out of the picture. The wave is in. And if you just look at what LiT see, it's just darkness. And this is terrifying.
Kenvi has been so active. Looking for another one, doesn't go for it just because he saw Kizno. But this is the type of play we should have expected from Kenby. Again, he was playing on Immortals. Before that, he was part of the 100 Thieves ecosystem, was part of the debut roster of 100 Next. And boy, did he show up in Amateur back in the day. So seeing him back in the Tier 2 space, dominating a lot of these players, brings back those old memories for me.
Could it be? Oh wow, that was a lot of damage. But it's Udyr. He's just gonna back, and everything's gonna be fine. LiT, on the other hand, they have another package. They're just gonna send it.
Sending it right after Diamond. That's a shutdown going over to Kizno. They go after Kenby. Kenby's able to get out in time thanks to the flash, and no kills returned. LiT are able to get it and get out, but here comes Shochi firing away. Wants to find Rock Boom. Tether goes down. So does the piercing arrow from Array. Can't pop that from a distance. LiT still lose no one. Priority on Dragon.
That was a great fight coming through from LiT. A much better use of the package this time around. They just fully sent it. And now, Shochi, he's looking for something, but going rogue isn't going to actually get him any play. They sacrificed the mid-tier 1, increasing this gold lead for Supernova, but at the end of the day, you couldn't let that soul point go through. So it's, as worth it as it could be.
And that's exactly what I wanted for messages. That package is such a good tool around the Dragon where you can basically just cut the map, as we had just seen a moment earlier. Actually, that's not it. That's Array just getting a pick.
Oh, I didn't even notice that from earlier.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why he was off the map and they were able to jump on Diamond. But it still works. And you know what we say in the business, Eric?
What do we say?
We take those.
Oh, yeah, we do.
They're going to need to take a lot more, though.
I mean, okay, they got something decent coming out for Kizno, so this is one of the parts of your win condition that you're trying to get online. Still looking for more. 3-1-1 Viego doesn't hurt.
No, I will say you're right, and it doesn't. Remember, that fight, you got Array out of the picture, who's very strong right now at 2 items, and you use the package to make it happen. So you can basically only replicate that fight once every 5 minutes at that. So you
then
definitely
we fight once every 5 minutes, beat.
I mean, well, what does that mean? Supernova now invade, they take everything. Oh, they're going to let us take it for free? I mean, no problem, man. We take those.
It's all right. We got 3 minutes left on the timer. It's okay. It's our fight timer.
All right, man. That's some premium grade cope you got going on there.
Oh, yes, only the best.
Yeah. And now really, LiT have to be able to find something. You see Rock Boom has that second item. Once the Manamune evolves, which is like really soon because he stacks tier quickly, Rock Boom will be very strong. So he'll be someone to play for. Messages is pretty close to his second item as well. And that's when you might be able to see LiT actually have a way to go for these fights without the package.
I actually want to pull up the gold right now. Shochi has gotten a lot by himself, but a fight is breaking out. The trap was sprung, and Plux is going to be the one to go down. Kenby fighting for his life. Already first reset, going to be found by Kizno. Wants to get another one onto Diamond. Diamond's critically low. A double kill found, but he gets dropped, and Shochi's able to take them off the respawn. And here comes Faisal. Burn them all down, baby. Array picks up the final kill, and it's 4 kills picked up. They want to get the ace, but Dragoon just barely escapes. Supernova take the fight.
And it's such a big deal that Faisal got there first. I mean, he was able to put out so much damage. It was looking good for LiT for just a moment. But at the end of the day, Supernova walk away with another team fight win. And I was going to say something to the tune of, at this point in time, the gold lead isn't actually that significant. But you get picked off from a distance, and even though Kenby answered back, look at Shochi and what he's doing. Messages wasn't in this fight in any meaningful way. Yeah, he got some damage onto Shochi, but it wasn't enough to actually get the kill. And look what happens when Faisal comes in. It's just so free.
And you don't even have to worry about losing momentum on the map, because Shochi just got them back off the respawn with that kill as well, taking down Kizno and resetting those timers. And now you see Shochi's on the hunt. One of the things I was going to point out about Shochi is he's been getting a lot of kills. He's getting even more as Array with the Chain of Corruptions over the wall will grab it onto Kizno. Add up those assists, add up those kills, add up those turrets, and Shochi is a wealthy man.
And this is a tough spot too, and it's worth noting. I said in Champ Select that Dragoon as a top laner wouldn't be involved in most fights until now. And now that he's built the Leandres, yes, he wave clears fast, but he doesn't have a lot of health. So look at how quickly he dies.
Oh, watch for Faisal right here. Lands it right on Rock Boom in the back line into retreat. Plux gets burned down, and Diamond brings the volley through. The flamethrower finds its mark. One more arrow. It's a warning shot to messages. Don't come around this side of the map. It belongs to Supernova.
And it's just fight after fight after fight, and oh!
I warned you, man!
Messages. I respect the vision. I saw it, but, I didn't see it very clearly. And now it's 20 seconds to Drake, Eric, and the map just continues to fall apart for Supernova. There's really not much left available to them. Messages, still 25 seconds out. Yes, he has TP. Yes, he has package. But look at the payday that Supernova have got. I mean, let's just actually look at the replay. And again, you called it out, a beautiful equalizer, forcing flashes, forcing movement spells, and immediately putting LiT on the retreat.
And with that, Supernova just have too big of a lead. I don't really see a way that LiT get back into this. As we take one more look at that piercing arrow. Good attempt coming out for messages. He did land one of those rockets, but it's the arrow that lands true in the heart of messages, taking him down. And now Supernova playing the map their way at their pace.
It's been like that since game one, if I'm being honest with you, SRX. And it's even tougher now because you have these long-range spells, so much damage coming through, and it's before you can even get close to the members of Supernova. I mean, LiT, Dragoon, again, he doesn't have a lot of resistances. He doesn't have a lot of health. He's actually pretty squishy, and being the only one who can make space for his team, it feels even worse with how far behind they are.
Package comes out. They're going after Kenby. This is a tank, so it's going to take a while to take him down, and he doesn't even fall yet. It's Dragoon who gets dropped first. Array grabs the kill credit now. Diamond caught up by Kizno. Kizno's going after the support, but there's only so much you can do when Kenby jumps on you. A triple kill for Array, and finally one more to pay. It's an ace coming out as Supernova go for the purple worm.
And this time there's no one who's going to be able to stop them, so they're going to take this one nice and easy. This time they got the clean ace that eluded them, and Supernova making a statement this series that they're a team to be reckoned with. They're just utterly smashing LiT into the ground right now.
Some would say super team, B-Town?
No, they wouldn't, actually.
Okay, by some I mean literally just Shochi. Let's take another look at that fight. They focus so hard on the Kenby, and they're not even able to get that.
It just shows the goal deficit more than anything else here, because this is actually a pretty solid play for LiT. They found the angle. They were able to focus all their attention on one person, but their time to kill is so high. It means that Kizno will never really get the reset that he needs.
Yeah, and that one goes to Santa Monica. Oh, I just saw it out my window. Nice. All right, now the focus is Faisal. Kizno's there. Faisal has quite a bit of damage, though, man. He can burn you down pretty quickly. He tries to turn that onto the Karma. Unable to do it. A couple of autos go in. Kizno feels the wrath of that, but look at your base. Supernova are knocking.
I like the play because at the end of the day, you were going to lose this inhibitor no matter what. So you get a big shutdown, almost 1,000 gold for it in exchange. We call that worth, Eric.
Ooh. This might not be worth, though. Dragoon still gets
the
stun.
Oh my god.
But look at his health. There comes the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Buffered in time is going to be the ultimate from Kizno, but gets locked down for days.
Oh my god.
My goodness, Array. The damage is too much to bear.
You know what? This game might not make it to Seoul. I'm gonna keep it a stack, Eric.
Might be over quite soon.
Maybe right now. Who knows? Look at that. That was 1 Q. Oh, half his health.
Rock Boom, are you okay?
Where did he? Oh, he flashed.
Don't you get? Oh my. Okay, Array. Okay, you've made your point, man. Go blow up the Nexus now. Oh, Dragoon out of position. Shochi's gonna grab that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be easy. Faisal doesn't have the teleport to join, but like it really doesn't matter, Eric. Because they just win any fight that's happening right now. Array, yeah, I was gonna say, Kizno, you're not that guy, pal.
Yeah, Array eating the True Shot Barrage on purpose for the handicap of it, trying to give Kizno a fighting chance right here. As oh no, it's a pinch coming out from Kenby. Able to get the lockdown on Kizno, and I'm sorry, Kizno, that fighting chance, it is over. The window is closed, and Supernova are here.
Oh my god. There's just nothing working for the side of LiT. Now it's a 13,000 gold lead. With this Baron, with those spawn timers, this is probably the end of the game. Any second now.
They're going to take it a little bit slower, take 2 inhibitors down. I feel like one of the things that I think is troubling LiT so much is the way they've been drafting so far. It feels like they kind of get themselves into situations where they need a really high level of execution to pull off what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's tough too, because really, the only frontliner again there from Dragoon. I think. Oh, hold on. I need to hold that thought.
That's 5.3 seconds. You didn't even see an enemy on the map, and you just died to random spells shooting at you from afar.
I'm sorry, man. Skill issue. I don't know what to tell you.
Skill issue.
Maybe dodge the arrow, Eric. Maybe
dodge the arrow. Get out of the way as Shochi spins around the inhibitor. That is already down. One more inhibitor remains, but they might not even wait for that. They want the minion wave to come in to take this win right here and right now.
Yeah, Baron buff is expired. Their soul is on the table, but Supernova recognize the power they have in this game right now. And it's just time to use it to close this bad boy out.
Here we go. Nexus Tower number 1 under attack. Might fall soon. Chain of Corruptions goes out. You get no backup from messages as Kizno goes forward. Can't even take down a Ray, who goes legendary in the process. Dragoon looking to wave clear, but he might get cleared out by Shochi. That Nexus Tower is going to go down. Here comes Shochi. A couple of autos go through, and Dragoon heads right for the respawn. An equalizer as a parting gift. Nexus exposed, and Supernova, first game of the season, will take a 2-0 sweep against LiT.
28 kills to 9 and more than 10k by the end of both games in terms of goal difference. Unbelievable stuff coming through from Supernova and LiT. It's a tough start. It's only a single round robin as well, so you won't get a chance to play Supernova again unless you meet them in playoffs. But Supernova, things are starting out fantastic for them. They look so strong as a team.
Yeah, they look like the best super team we've ever seen in the league. Of course, beat down.
All right, you can close out the show.
We're going to throw it over to a short break. When we return, we'll have an interview with one of the members of Supernova. We'll be right back as I go get beat down.
Introducing the new Footlong Sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious Footlong Cookie, Footlong Pretzel, or Footlong Churro.
Welcome back, everyone, to LCS Challengers. I am joined by the victorious Shochi of Supernova, coming off a win. Definitely gotta feel good. First question, I gotta ask Shochi. Beatdown's been mad at me all day for this. I keep calling you a super team. I want you to talk me through how this team came together and how you ended up under the Supernova umbrella.
So, yeah, going into off-season, you know, coming off the split where a bunch of teams pulled out of Academy, you know, some teams ended up pulling out of LCS. It was kind of stressful, you know, as from the player perspective at least. But I had a lot of people like messaging me wanting to play with myself, which like has never happened. And I was messaging a bunch of other players, and then we all just came together, and alongside our coach ZZ, it basically boiled down to Supernova being the only team that was like willing to spend the big bucks to kind of get us all on board. So yeah, and they've been the perfect home so far.
Takes a lot of money for a super team, Beat.
Yeah, true. I mean, that is categorically true. I can't argue with that. So my question for you, Shochi, is last year you showed a lot of growth as a player. You really became a playmaker for Cincinnati Fear, especially in the summer. So what are you looking to improve as a player this year, if you can get a little specific?
I think my number one problem right now is definitely my consistency. And especially, like, you saw that during some of these games, you know, like, kind of had a little bit of random int deaths here and there.
Happy moment, you know?
Yeah, some happy moments. And, you know, I played, on Fear, I played the whole year with Manui and Perry, who kind of, they gave me a lot of attention and a lot of resources, and I was able to carry those games. But now I got, like, Kenby, who's, like, a super mechanical, sometimes he wants to bust out the Kindred and whatnot. So I'm going to have to learn to give back a little more.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta ask. I asked you before with Minui, but anyone else? Is anyone else willing to get as out of the pocket as Minui was on this new roster for Supernova?
I mean, everyone on my team is kind of like, I don't know. Minui is one of a kind. He has some crazy picks that never even got to see the light of the stage. So I don't know if we can get that crazy. Yeah, I mean, he was. I don't know if he'll pull it out this split, so I won't speak on it. But he has some crazy stuff planned.
Fair.
Yeah, but I feel like, yeah, I don't know if we can get that crazy, but we can still cook. Like our drafts can be really nutty.
All right, cool. I mean, I know it's pretty early in the split, but is there a team who you really want to beat, a team you have your eye on? Maybe some teams that are perceived at the top of the table, or who stands out to you?
Well, yeah, I think obviously everyone's goal is kind of to beat FlyQuest. I think they're the team to beat, and you know we've been scrimming them a little bit here and there, and that quad guy is pretty good, especially on Cassiopeia. You saw it today, I think. But yeah, if we can take them down, I feel like that's where my head's at right now.
All right, Shochi, you got any shout-outs before we let you go?
All right. First and foremost, as always, shout out my girlfriend, #1 supporter in the world. I think she was in Twitch chat. Shout out all my new teammates, all the new staff, everyone at Supernova. They're very welcoming. My teammates, very lovely, very hardworking. Can be a bit harsh sometimes. Some French Canadian support players, but you know it's all love at the end of the day. Yeah. Shout out everyone who supports Supernova now, supports me in my journey. Yeah. Just thank you to all the fans.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, Shochi. Congratulations on the 2-0 victory, and I want to wish you the best of luck in the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is going to do it. That is 2 series done, beat down, and honestly, for our first games of the season, that was a pretty fun ride.
It was. I mean, it was really cool that we got to see TLC Fly C, and we got to see 2 of the amateur orgs go at it in their first series of the split so far, and I can't wait to see what tomorrow has in store for us.
As you can see, the 2-0s across the board. No 6 games for us. We don't get the same comforts as Mazel and Cubby did last Sunday, but still, it was a good day nonetheless. And Of course, great games to see. It's definitely interesting seeing how teams have been adopting to the new Fearless Draft, as well as this week being the week that they have to adopt the patch as fast as they can. Gives us a pretty wild ride to beat down.
Right, there's a lot of factors that teams will be having to deal with week by week, and it's very interesting too because even though we have live patch like LCS does, we have Fearless. Unlike everyone except for the LDL, so it's truly a unique experience playing and watching in the NACL. So make sure you come back.
Let's pull up the standings to see how things look at the end of today. It's going to be FlyQuest, who are currently undefeated, 4-0, looking good, sailing on by. Some teams still trailing behind them. Supernova were able to get their first win. I'm definitely going to be curious how the Maryville, Wildcard, and Fear games go. And if Disguise can get out, along with TLC, get out of that bottom situation, TLC 0-4, definitely a little bit of a heartbreak to see at the start of the season.
A little bit. It definitely doesn't feel good, but again, they have some things that they need to be working through. They also played against FlyC, who are first place even, who Shochi said is the team to beat right now. And I think pretty much everyone who watches this league or plays in it agrees with that. So TLC, it's going to be a little more of scaling, to make a League of Legends reference, and we'll have to see how far they can really go.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the broadcast. We want to thank you all so much for joining us. A big thank you to everyone behind the scenes who works on this product. My name has been, I'm talking past tense suddenly.
Dying?
My name is Desirooks, yeah, apparently. And this has been Beatdown Boulevard. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, right after LCS, to catch more of the LCS Challengers League.